Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Xenith California Coaching Clinics. I'm Kip Lewis. I'm the Director of Athlete and Team Engagement at Xenith. I will be serving as the moderator for tonight's session. We want to thank you all for joining us tonight for the second clinic in our 3-week series. As a proud partner of the CIF, Xenith is excited to highlight the coaching talent in the state of California and bring these conversations to this particular community. And to show our appreciation for the coaches online tonight, we will be offering special Xenith equipment pricing to all clinic attendees. To learn more about Xenith products and to schedule an introductory meeting with your local Xenith rep, click the Request Intro Meeting button that you should see in the bottom left corner of your screen. We've also included the 2021 Xenith catalog in the handout section on your screen as well. Now, getting down to the reason you're all here, let me introduce tonight's guest coach. He is Desean Burns, and he is here to talk about defensive line play. A little background on Coach Burns. He was a 3 varsity football starter at Rubidoux High School, later a defensive back at USC. He's been the defensive line coach at UTEP and Texas Southern, and also coached for the Washington football team, Florida Gators, Bishop Amat High School, Beverly Hills High School, and he has been
Hello. You there? You're on?
Hey, everyone. Hi, I'm Abby from Xenith. It looks like Kip had some technical difficulties. So, Coach, what I'm going to have you do, I'm going to pull up your slides, and we'll just let you jump in, and hopefully he'll be back before we get through the first part of your session here.
No worries. Make it happen.
All right. Give me just 1 second.
All right. Here we go. All right, fellas, thank you for joining and getting in. We're going to start with defensive line standards. And this is just what we do over here at Linfield and what I've comprised over the years. Just a set of rules and a course of rules and actions that we're going to do, or that we do at the places I've been involved at, and kind of sets the stage of what the standard is in order to play. And it kind of sets up how we need to play and makes things real simple for ourselves. So, we're going to start with the defensive line standards. If I can get the next slide, Abby, please. All right. So for me, in the places that I've been, it's been very important that you learn how to play in the left and the right hand stance. Some people say the hand most comfortable, hand down to technique. The people that I learned under and the people I had to work for, it was very important that the hand down matched the shade or the technique that we're using. And then with that being said, steps fall in place. So your footwork and everything else, your hands and your footwork all run in cohesion with what hand is down. So we have to understand the importance of using a proper stance with the correct alignment or shade. Know the why behind the stances and the benefits. Okay, have ability to deliver a blow from either stance with good hips. Play on the right or left side of the ball from any shade without thinking about it. So I might go from a right side 5 tech, and all of a sudden something happens and I got to kick to a 4-eye. I got to be able to get my left hand down and be able to slide and get my right hand down. Or I might be in a 5 on the backside of an under, or excuse me, an overfront, and all of a sudden they trade the tight end over and I got to kick to a 7. Inside shade of that tight end, I go from left-hand stance to a right-hand stance. So it's very important to understand the ability to be able to play in a left and a right-hand stance. Next slide, please. Attack with gap control. So for us, we're the places I've been, except for one, I was at UTEP under Osei Lewis, and we're 3-3-5, so we're a 2-gap front, and we're stunting and do a lot of slanting and stunning. But the most places I've been, we're a 4-3 single gap predicated defense. Got to be able to attack with gap control. So you got to have the mindset that you're not giving up the gap you're in or the ground you stand on. Get off the mark and recreate the line of scrimmage. It's real basic. Recreate the line of scrimmage by getting off your mark and what you're keen and where you're putting your hands. Next slide, please. Fit. Football is about doing your job. And so up front, it's important for you to do your job. Everybody has a different way in which their philosophy or what their philosophy is about playing up front and who your dogs or your meat eaters are. If you got strong defensive linemen, you might tell them to get upfield and go hunt. If your backers are better, you might tell them to let them eat and let the backers or let the front hold everybody up and let the backers go eat. So for us, we got to understand our fits. And so know where you go when the ball is snapped. So if we have a stunt, we have a movement of some type, we got to know where to go when the ball is snapped. Then we have to be able to get there with the quickness and the purpose and do not allow ourselves to be out of place. It's that simple. You have to hold and maintain your gap. So control the A, let's say, squeeze the open A, right? Hold the closed A, squeeze the open A. Hold the B, squeeze the A. Hold the C, squeeze the B. Those things are very, very, very important. Next slide, please. Assignment. I'm not from the school of just get upfield and go create havoc, go get ball, see ball, go get ball. We try to teach with the purpose and rules here. Know what you need to do. If I'm a 3 technique and I'm spiking, I need to take the A gap. I need to take the A gap. My hands need to be in a certain place. If I'm running a tom game or a TT game or a nut game, then I need to gap exchange. I need to know where I'm going. So I need to know what to do. Do your job and know the adjustments. Every play, all game. So there's a science to playing up front. It's not just, once again, you got your big mammoths, the big wide backs, and just go cause havoc, go create piles and let other guys eat. It can be a lot more efficient if you understand what you're doing. Next slide, please. Control the blockers. See your work. I have a saying, couple of acronyms. EHF, EHHF, stands for eyes, hands, hips, and feet. And along with that, in order for me to use my eyes, I have to see my work. So wherever I'm lined up at, if I'm a 3 technique and I'm lined up over the guard, then I need to see my work. I need to see the guard. Pre-up the ball, see the guard, because that's my work. Then I need to attack my work. If I'm in a 3 technique, once again, my hands should be in a certain spot, ideally chest plate and armpit, not top of shoulder, not side of shoulder, but chest plate and armpit. Then I need to take care of the man in front of me first and foremost. So I like to equate it to a math problem. You have the problem and the answer, right? So get rid of the problem so you can get to the solution, right? Get rid of the problem so you can get to the answer. So take care of the problem first, which is the man in front of you. Play with your hands. A lot of guys are hat and hands type of guys, and so you lead with your head, your butt's back, your hips aren't through. You allow yourself to get held and get caught up. So we want to lead with our hands, and play with our hands. Then we want to accelerate our feet on contact. We want to bring our hips and accelerate our feet on contact. And that is how you effectively control your blocker. Here's a clip of it. Here's our defensive end playing a 5 tech. You can step with the inside foot, 6-inch power step. The left foot is the in-flight adjustment step. Right hand is in the chest plate. The left hand is in the armpit or outside the shoulder there. And he's coming out of his hips and pressing the guy back on the reach block. Next slide, please. If I'm going too fast, please let me know, Kip. I don't want to miss anything or go too fast the guys can't get it. Just get a little hyped. We get the coaching up. Then run to the football. Jared Allen, J.J. Watt, high motor guys, man. Run to the football. Fly around, meet at the football. Fly around, meet at the football. You got a 4-man front, all 4 need to be at the football. 3-man front, all 3 need to be at the football. Good things happen when you run to the ball. Create opportunities for your team through hustle. If you run a 4-6, play a 4-6. Real simple. Got that from my boss and Coach Marvin Lewis. You say if you run 4-6, play 4-6. You don't have to play different. Good pursuit angles, proper leverage to the ball carrier. So it should go our guy, their guy, our guy, their guy in the fit. So if we're pursuing to the football, we want to make sure that if he bounces that ball back, he's going to run into us. So we don't want to ever chase the same color. Next slide, please. Tackle. We're not big on big hitters. We don't want big hitters. We want good tacklers. So what we like to have is be a sound tackler. Run through the ball carrier when tackling, period. Run through the ball carrier. And we want to gang tackle, 11 men of the ball carrier, hitting the ball carrier. This will force turnovers to swarm to the ball and cause pain when you get there. It's a bottom line. It's a violent sport. You got violent intentions. We want that guy giving the ball up. We want him acting like he's in church on Sunday and giving up the ghost. We want the ball out, period, point blank, in the story. So we got to get there with the quickness. Next slide, please. Force turnovers. by any means necessary. Every play, every series, strip, tip, rip, intercept, recover, fumbles, do it all. Quarterback sack, strip, cause fumbles are key, right? Tackling at the line, holding the guy up, another guy coming in, and we call it buddy stripping. First man to the ball holds him up. The next man has the intentions of coming and getting the ball out. It's real simple. It's not rocket science. We want our guys attacking the football, get the tackle, and then attack the football. All right. Next slide, please. We got it. Next slide.
Coach, I think this is the last slide of this section. If anyone wants to jump in with any questions, one thing, Coach, if you could do, just take us through those letters that you went through to when you were talking in there.
Sure. E, H, H, F. So it's kind of funny. You know, we tell the kids when all else fails, if you sound that out, it makes the sound of F, F. So when all else fails, F it. All else fails, F it. E, H, H, F. Eyes, hands, hips, and feet. See your work, attack your work, beat your work. So they align, right? If I'm in a 3, then I'm looking at the V of the neck of the guard. When he twitches, I'm striking him. How am I striking him? My hands are going to the chest plate and armpit. My hips are coming out, and I'm accelerating my feet. So eyes, hands, hips, and feet. If it's some reason I get beat, it serves as me a checkpoint for me to come back and be like, man, how did I get reached? You know, what happened? Were my eyes on my work, right? So it's just a checkpoint within the series. I don't want 4 or 5 plays to go by, and then a guy come to the sideline and not understanding why the heck he got reached or got cut off or why he got driven, right? Fix it within the series. You know, let's play smarter. Does that help?
Yeah. Does anyone have any questions for Coach Burns? All right, Coach, why don't you go ahead and go on to that next section then?
Okay. All right, so now we just gave you the standards, right? Our principles and standards. Now here's how we're going to put together. So I was at TSU, we're in a 3-4 defense, and we jump in from a 3-4 to a 4-3, over, under, but everything held true to form, right? The foundational truths are the foundational truths. So defensive line stances and hand placements. Effectively playing the run with proper stance and alignment. Next slide, please. So we have another acronym, SATA, S-A-T-A. So it stands for stance, alignment, technique, assignment. Real simple. Stance, alignment, technique, assignment. This is a buzz phrase that we use to ensure our players are able to identify and address and fix the problem within a play series should they find themselves in trouble at any point. Okay, going through this quick checklist pre-snap, this enables them to be in the best initial position before the play starts. So if I'm on the right side playing a 3 technique and I'm thinking run, my left hand should be down. My hand should be to his foot. Hand down to foot, left hand down because my hand is down to the technique. The ultimate goal is to be able to have the player go through the progression of stance, alignment, technique, assignment so that their adjustments are made within a series of play. Should they reach the sidelines without making an adjustment, we have a foundation in which we can build from to fix the problem before the next series. Eliminate repeated mistakes. Therefore, before any other issues are addressed, they're asked if they have the proper stance for the defense, alignment for the defense, use the proper technique, and did their assignment. More cases than not, if one or more of these are not correct, then the broken play is not far behind. So it's just real simple, right? Proper stance. Where's my alignment? What technique am I using? My base technique? Am I crossing phase? Am I getting upfield pass rushing? And what's my assignment? Do I, am I a C-gap player? Am I getting upfield and containing the pass? Am I blitzing QB or rushing QB? Just what does it stand for, right? So we start with SATA, S-A-T-A, real simple. Stance, alignment, technique, and assignment. Next slide, please. The stance and alignments, right? So we see on the left is number 93 is my nose guard. He's in a 2-gap or ram stance, we call it. And then number 94 is an end. He's playing my defensive end, my strong end, and he's in a 5-tech, and he's in a shaded stance. Next slide, please. Ram stance is a balanced stance with square base. Feet should be shoulder width to slightly wider. Heels are flat on the ground. Weight should be balanced and sitting back so that you can play the reach or cutoff block in either direction. This will allow the defender to move laterally to defend blocks to get play side of the blocker. So for me, from what we're teaching, when we're playing 2-gap, We want to win the side of the block. We don't want to lose. We're not just delegating ourselves, hey, we'll play backside and we'll lose. We'll lose to the backside. We want to win the front side of the block. So that means we're sitting there in balance and we're keying the V of the jersey, which is here. V of the neck is here for us. V of the jersey is right in the middle. We're keying that V. Our hands are down. We want to be able to come off, strike him in his pits. The hands should go in the armpit and armpit. And if he's trying to reach us, we're going to press post, run our feet, and get to the front side of the block. We want to win the side of the two gap. So we use a ramp stance for that. This will allow the defender to move laterally, defend blocks, and get play side of the blocker. The hand closest to the ball should be down, and the weight on your fingers should be light. Vision should be on the V of the jersey, which steps mirroring the movement of the lineman. With an attack read step, not a flat read step. So we don't want to go laterally. We want to take the air out. So we're taking 45-degree attack steps. He goes to reach. I got to take the air out, attack with my hands, and get play side. Get him knocked back and then press him out. Acceleration of feet on contact is extremely important to playing this technique. Alignment to blocker may vary. Tighten up on ball or loosen, all opinion on the O-lineman and steps. Okay, next slide, please. Hand placement from the ramp stance. You see the picture there. He's got his hands, and we call it in sweaty pits. We won't put our hands in the sweaty pits, our fingers in the sweaty pits. So we're in his armpits. Our hands are in his pits. We're coming out of hips. The center is about a 6'5" guy. The nose was a 6-foot guy at best, built kind of like Anthony Adams. The big fella was out of Alcorn. He was 6'5", about 330, and my guys got him jacked up. If you look at the clip, both of his feet are off the ground, and he's up and underneath him. From the stance, the hands should strike the alignment in the armpits or the outer chest plate area. Thumb should be up, the sky, and a good 6-inch strike should follow. This way you're able to play a true two-gap technique and maintain control of the lineman versus a base reach or cutoff block. Next slide, please. This is a staggered stance or shaded stance. That is attack with an attack principle. Versus the run, our feet should be shoulder width apart and staggered with the back foot to the heel of the front foot. Weight should be on the front foot, and we call it a shin tilt. So I like to have my knee in front of my toe. So my front leg, so if I'm in a right-handed stance, my left knee is going to be in front of my toe, right, or even with my toe. So I have angle to drive off of that right foot. Or the left foot, excuse me, and I'm going to step with my right with a 6-inch power step. As we continue, the weight should be on the front foot, and the hand closest to the ball should be down. The hand should line up on the hand of the lineman or the foot. We will put you on a shade or edge. Focal point should be on the V of the neck. Body weight should be forward on hand, and butt should be up and make a flat back. Next slide, please. Versus the pass, it's a staggered stance as well with the same attack mentality. Feet should be shoulder width apart. Now back foot should be further back, so we go heel-toe relationship. Weight should be on the front foot, and down hand should simulate a 40-yard sprinter stance. Focal point should be the same, the V of the neck, and peripheral vision of the ball. If playing outside rusher from a three-point stance, key the outside knee of the lineman to get a jump-on movement. So what I like to tell my guys, we're going to key the kneecap. So I'm not looking at heel. I'm not looking at shoulder. I'm not looking at the ball. The lineman knows the snap count. He knows where he has to go. He's looking at you the whole time. So I'm keying his knee, especially in the 2-point. Got my eyes. My head is turning. My eyes and my visual on his kneecap. His kneecap twitches. We are out, and we're on his edge, and we're now in alignment to play what we need to play: run or pass and attack an edge. Next slide, please. Hand placement from a shaded stance. From the stance, the down hand should strike the middle of the chest plate. So if I'm on a left-handed stance, left hand should be in the chest plate or via the pads, and the free hand should attack the near armpit, outer chest plate area. The thumb should be up to ensure edge dominance and control of the blocker. The 6-inch power step, I'm sure we all use this term, 6-inch power step and a 6-inch punch should take place at the same time when striking a target. So as my hand comes off the ground, my hips and my feet should be firing at the same time. So it shouldn't be reach, try to press, and then roll through. We're coming out violently. Acceleration of feet should happen on contact. This will help the D lineman with leverage and playing the block that follows. In getting off and into the lineman, you're able to create some knock 'em back, we like to call it, and reestablish the line of scrimmage, which should place you in a better position to play the blocks from the offensive lineman. Okay, next slide, please. There's a picture of us getting a double team. So there's my nose. His foot is up and down. The left foot is now up and down. He's into the center, and he's into this guy before he can get up and down, and the guard's trying to come get a double team, and so his head's in the gap. And we're there to be able to create havoc and create levels on the double. Next slide, please. All right, conclusion. Purpose of this presentation to give you a foundation teaching, an illustration, illustrating the types of the stances and hand places we teach and emphasize here. The stance itself is ineffective should the defender not incorporate attacking their work they see using their eyes, hand placement, and foot acceleration upon contact. We are trying to get across to the players that each technique is designed to put them in the best situation possible without compromising the integrity of the defensive scheme. From each of the stances, you sacrifice something to gain something. The goal is to minimize the sacrifices. So ramp stance, less effective versus the pass. Shaded stance, less effective versus the reach block. Right? So we got to give a little something up to get something. As long as we understand that, we're good. I like to say that the guys that know how will always have a job, but the guys that know why will be the boss. So our job is to create why guys. Okay?
All right.
That's a conclusion.
Coach, got a question for you here in the
Yes, sir.
chat. In a 40 front, how are you teaching your one techniques to create teams? Are you the nearest man?
Okay, you broke up a little bit. Say it again.
In a 40 front, how are you teaching your 1 and 3 techniques to create double teams? Are you attacking the nearest man?
Yeah, so if I'm lined up in a 1, if we're calling a 1 the shade of the center, we call it a tilt. So if we're lined up in a tilt on the center, my work is going to the center. It's like being in a street fight. So I can't whoop 2 if I can't get 1. So if I'm lined up on the center, my job is to take all my work to him. I'm going to get off and get into him first. I know I'm going to get doubled here, right? I know I'm going to get the guard coming down and double me up on the backside of an over in a 40 front. That guard's coming. But if I get the center jacked up and knocked back, then I'm going to get some leverage, right?
Yeah.
If not, I'm still going to keep my work on the center, and I'm driving and working him because I got a buddy in back of me that's going to pull that guard off of me, right? That linebacker, he's got to activate so that he can pull the guard off. So I got to maintain my gap integrity. If I get movement, I'm not a big component of dropping to a knee and creating a pile. What I want to do is reduce my knee. So I'll stand up and give you a little live deal. I don't know if you can see, get back. Sometimes we get a little hand on there, Kip. I don't know if we can see. Can we see? So if
Yeah,
I'm
we got
playing,
you.
we're playing until I'm on the right side. I'm down. The center's here. I get off in the center. Boom. 6-inch power step. In-flight adjustment step comes. I'm working. I got pressure on him. I got pressure on the center. I'm working the center. I get pressure on my hip. What I want to do is I want to dip my knee, take it away, do the stanky leg, get the stanky leg on. I'm reducing my knee. I'm going to snatch the center and keep him to me because what he's trying to do is reach so I can get overtaken, right? Or get me out of here. So I want to pull him back into me. They're aiming for this hip. I'm going to reduce my hip. He slips off. I come out of my hip. I post back out. So I'm still working vertical, dip the knee, inside pull, punch back out. The guard, more than likely, gets a piece, slips off, right? I still create separation. I still create knocking back. Backer triggers, pulls the guard off. I maintain my gap integrity. Good question because there's a clip of that coming up here.
All right, one more thing before we get into the pass rush deck. Got another question along those lines. Are you attacking half man and driving first man to fill the gap?
Yes, sir. So once again, it goes back to the philosophy of if I'm in a street fight and I got 2 dudes, I cannot service 2 dudes the same as I can service 1. If I'm going to go, one's going to go with me. So the dude I'm lined up on, we used to say this when I was at Skins in Florida, be stingy with the double teams. Got to be greedy with them. So I'm whooping the center. If I'm on the center, or if I'm on the guard, I'm a 3 technique and the tackles come down, I'm whooping the guard. If I got to take a dirt nap, the guard's got to take one with me. So he and I are going to dance. I am tearing him apart. I am on him because he is the focal piece, right? So I'm attacking him. I do not want him to come off. So I got to create knocking back and work the guy that I'm lined up on.
Okay.
All
Okay,
right.
Coach, if you want, you can move on, I guess, you got the pass rush deck here coming up.
Yes. All right. So now we got the pass rush. Little slide. We'll go through this. This is the pass rush counter and counter moves. So we talked about the run fits. We'll talk about the pass rush. Next slide, please. So we're talking about the spin move. Couple clips. We're going to go through it. The spin is a successful move predicated on getting off the mark and selling speed upfield. I'm not a big component of it. I don't like it, but if you're going to use it, then I took some clips that we had of Bruce Smith when I was at the Skins, and if anybody's going to do it, If they're not Freeney clips, and they're Bruce clips, and this is a 42-year-old man doing this. So watch what happens. Next slide, please. So the DN, if we can see the top clip, the top slide, the DN sells the rush move. He sells speed upfield. He's getting upfield. Bruce is getting upfield up the hash. So it's a great clip because you get some visuals. He gets upfield, and he's going to force the offensive tackle to turn and protect the edge while staying on his rush pass. So Bruce is staying on his lane. The tackle is kicked and gotten off of his lane. The DN gets up the second slide on the bottom. The DN gets the tackle off balance, sinks his hips, gets foot back in the ground, and pivots back inside, driving the free hand into the center of the back, the old ice pick, okay, and opens a rush lane to create a straight path to the quarterback. Understand, the spin move is normally aborted one step too soon. A guy begins to spin before he's taken that next step and finished the first move. So the top clip, Bruce is gone. He's thrown a chop on the guy. He shows he's committed to getting upfield. The guy oversets. He's out of balance. He's top heavy. He's leaning. Now Bruce is going to use that against him. And you see that he's drop step, a basketball drop step, ice pick the guy. Next clip, please. The key to the move and the success of the move is the speed to the edge of the blocker. Once the move is complete, acceleration to the quarterback is the finish. A great get off is very important. Very good counter to a speed rush and edge pressure rushes. Next slide. There it is. And there's a clearer clip. Bruce is completely behind the tackle. There's nothing he can do. That's on the left. On the right, the tackle is now turning around, trying to grab, do whatever he has to do. And we got a clear shot at Brady. So this is, once again, this is a 42-year-old cat doing this on a guy that's probably about 32, 33. And Bruce is giving him the business simply because he stayed on his path, kept his pads down, sold the first move, completed, took it one more step, and then snapped him off and ice picked him. You can see the ice pick in the left slide, and then the right slide, he's clear to the quarterback. Next slide. Chop move, this is a chop, your basic chop move, karate chop. As with all moves, get off is very important for success. The most effective contact area for this move is the wrist or the forearm. You don't want to go any higher. You're trying to chop the wrist or chop the elbow, really. There's no muscles in the wrist. There's no muscles in the elbows. The motion is a simple chopping motion downward to the target area, stepping accordingly so that the hips of the lineman are locked. When the hands and arms are knocked down from the stance, the D lineman wants to explode off the mark, trigger to the hands of the offensive lineman, which means attack an edge. We like to say attack a half, beat a quarter. So if you took offensive lineman and drew a line down his center, that's the half. Then you drew a line across him at the waist. Then you're going to break him up into four parts, right? So we want to attack a half and beat a quarter. Once the lineman's hands are exposed, chop the hands down or gaining ground and get into the hip of the offensive lineman. Once again, it's predicated on upfield speed. Once the hands are knocked down, accelerate and close to the quarterback with good pad level, attacking upfield shoulders, secure tackle and strip. So if I give a right hand chop, I want to take my left hand and pin his elbow or pin his hip. That's going to allow my hips to flip and turn. I can close the quarterback. I can close the edge and reduce the surface by 6 inches. Bruce Smith once told me in a meeting, the difference in $1 million and his bonus, sack record bonus, was 6 inches. So how can you cut the corner? How can you make a short edge? Next clip, please. Side scissors, swipe. So some people say wax on, wax off. We call it side scissors. This is done by Ronaldo Wynn. The first clip on the left, you see him turning the torso. He swiped, I think it's Bart's hands off the side. And on the right clip, you see he's completely behind me. He's got a clear shot at a guy Conklin here. Next slide. A side scissors, this move is a mixed direction based move. So it's not just a speed move upfield, it's a misdirection. We're going to give some speed, a little jab move to freeze his feet and expose his hands. It's like basketball and a crossover. You're going to get upfield, freeze his feet, give him an inside head fake, and get back to the outside. Once again, the get off and selling edge pressure is the key. All right, the effectiveness of the move comes from selling an inside edge rush and using the inside head fake to get to the feet to set and the hands to show of the offensive lineman. Once this happens, the D lineman needs to get to the inside foot, get the inside foot in the ground, planting, and then transferring the outside edge of the lineman, taking both hands and swiping the hands of the offensive lineman back and inside and want to try to swipe him back and up. So if you look at the right clip, there you see it. So Ronaldo is on the edge of the guy. He has his right hand inside of the lineman's left hand, and his left hand is on the outside of the lineman's right hand. So he's going to clearly get to the edge of the guy. If we skip down to the third PowerPoint there, not the third PowerPoint, but the third highlight there, the footwork is as follows: from a plant to the outside transfer. The outside foot needs to gain ground. So we're going to lateral step, 45-degree step. Locking the hips of the offensive lineman. The plant foot should follow, stepping towards the outside foot of the quarterback or of the offensive lineman. Excuse me. Getting toes pointed towards the QB and making a short corner for acceleration to QB. The finish is the same as the previous moves. Attacking the upfield shoulder and securing tackle with the inside arm and stripping with the outside hand with a tomahawk motion. Next slide, please. Club and rip. It's real simple, except when we throw the club, it's more of an open hand club, and we want to rip up through the elbow. I'm not a big believer in ripping through the armpit. That's a guy's power angle. He can chicken wing you, lock in, and choke the life out of you. All right, so we don't want to do that. What we want to do is club and then punch the elbow up. Okay, this is another misdirection move that takes advantage of the offensive lineman's balance and aggressiveness. From the stance, the D lineman is a sell inside or outside move with the head fake, or we call it a jabole, like the side scissor swipe. When the lineman sets and punches, take the outside arm and club the offensive lineman on the outside shoulder or arm. I didn't have a lot of Reggie Whites. I haven't had the blessing of having a bunch of those guys. So we have to use everything we have coming out of our hips and clubbing the outside shoulder or getting the forearm. And we want to club that and get him to be extended so we can expose his arm that we need to rip up through. Ideal attack point will be at the elbow with the open hand. This serves as a guide or locator for the rip hand. This sets up the rip move and allows easier separation when closing the quarterback, making a short corner. If we go down to the last bullet point, or the second to last bullet point, once a club is thrown, bring the inside hand and foot to the outside foot of the offensive lineman so the hips get locked and the offensive lineman is cut off. The rip should come upward, attacking the elbow to the bicep area. We teach open hand, U-shaped form to grab elbow or bicep and push upward. So we want to pop the elbow up. Once the elbow is up, use an ice pick to hip or back of the offensive lineman, accelerate to QB on the same path. Next slide, please. You there? Okay. So there's 95. Lionel Dalton. He's going to jab step to center, jab to the right. He's going to club back to the left. Top left slide. The top right slide. He's clearly on the right side of the center, his left. You see his body is on the man's half, and he's attacking a quarter. Third, down bottom left. He is now on the edge of that center. The center's hips are flipped, and he's turned, giving him a soft edge. And now there's Lionel going past him. He's ripped up through the elbow. Or we like to say high block. He took like a salute move and just came up through the guy's armpit and elbow area. And now he's got a clear shot to the quarterback. Next clip, please. There's the finish. So he's now by the center, and he's closing on our guy Delhomme. Next clip. Bull rush to an edge. I'm not a real big bull rusher down the center. I like to move the pocket, so I'll teach our guys. It's an inside pocket pressure, so your big, heavy neck tilt or nose or 3 technique. Bull rush offensive lineman through a center with the hand placement inside on the chest plate and armpit area. So if I'm in a 1 shade, I'm going to bull that shade that I'm on. When he goes to overset, I'm going to transfer my hands and go back to the other side. So I'm going to go from right hand to the middle of the chest plate. I'm going to transfer and go back to the left hand in the middle of the chest plate and right hand to the armpit. So that gets him on a zigzag and does not allow the quarterback to set his feet in the pocket. So we're constantly creating angles and changing angles in depth of the pocket by the lineman's butt constantly being turned. Next clip, please. Doug, I'm going to save you guys with going through all the jargon here and let's talk off the clip. So now, as you see, 95 has pressed his edge, worked through. Now he's on the outside edge of the center. The center was soft at that point. Now he's able to bull, press with the right hand, and then come through with the rip or a high block and then close to the QB. Once again, acceleration to the quarterback and securing a tackle is possible with the ball strip and the tomahawk. So the finish is really important. After we get to the edge, we have to accelerate and finish. Next clip, please. Hump move. Reggie White hump move. I was blessed to have Ronaldo win for a couple years at the Skins, and he was really good at doing this. Except we didn't try to hump the guy on the outside shoulder pad. We try to get up underneath his armpit and kind of lift him up, kind of give him a little levy there, right? Lift him up, and then we come back with the cross-face deal. Next clip. All right, misdirection move. Once again, the misdirection move, using momentum as a counter. Start with the hard inside rush to get the lineman to base up and set. Make sure the hand placement is in the chest plate. Hips are low. Using the same footwork as a club rip, plant off the inside foot, transferring to the outside edge with low hips and good leverage. Instead of clubbing the outside shoulder, use the outside arm as a lever. Drive the outside arm up through the armpit of the blocker while pulling on his inside half with your right hand or your left hand. So as I go to cross his face, I want to yank down with my inside hand, take my outside hand, and come up through his armpit like a lever, and then accelerate to the QB. Next clip, please. Speed to an edge, real simple. You have a real fast guy on the edge, which get off, get off, get off from a sprinter type stance or a pass rush stance we talked about earlier. Pick 3 yards up the field to the outside edge of the blocker, get off the mark and threaten the edge of the blocker. Next clip. Very important that the defender stay on path. So do not come off of your path. Do not come off your path. Don't change the angle. Stay on your path. Get upfield so now you can get the tackle or the adjacent lineman to get off of his track. It's cat and mouse, right? Eye transfer and focus should be on the outside half of the blocker, hands and arms to ensure good reaction to punch and attempt on the blocker. When the blocker sets, attack the outside edge with the 2-arm to 1-arm bull rush and the rip or chop move. And so there you have it. So the top clip, Ronaldo's taking off. The guy then sets, so he's belly button to belly button. Now Ronaldo goes to stabbing with the 2 to 1-arm bull rush. Next clip. There it is. You see it on the right side, on the left side there on the clip. He's buying. He's closing to the quarterback. Get the outside foot in the ground and close to the QB with the blocker's edge beaten. His hips will be locked, and the rusher this will allow the rusher to accelerate to the QB and finish. Next clip. Long arm. So Reagan Upshaw, we acquired him from the Raiders, and Tampa Bay, and he did a good job of coming off and using his speed and then stabbing the guy. So Jason Taylor did the same thing. This is a nice counter mix or a mix with the speed rush. So speed up the field. Once again, it's about getting off the mark, same as the speed rush. This will get the offensive lineman to set up and overset, kick back, soft set, do what he has to do, get himself belly button to belly button, or even with you and open himself up. The rusher should be to the outside half of the offensive lineman, planting on the outside foot. So we're going to transfer power. I'm sprinting. I want to dip, sink, push off my outside leg, and then stab the lineman through the middle of his chest with my inside arm, and then changing my angle of my body. So I'm not pushing on him, but I'm stabbing and running through him. Next slide, please. The hand should be at the V of the shoulder pad, right? So we're going to stab right in the V of his shoulder pads, right in the middle of his chest there. He's going to set 1 step, 2 set. At that, he has to treat it like a bull rush, which means he's going to anchor. So if you see the top clip, he's anchored. The lineman is anchored. The tackle from the Philly is anchored. Reagan is now slapping the hand down. So the swipe comes in. As I'm stabbing him, my eyes go to the outside hand, and I'm just waiting for that hand to come. When it comes, I want to snatch with my stab hand. I want to pull towards me, and I want to knock his hand down. I want to knock the punch hand down, which would be the outside punch hand. When that punch hand is thrown, I'm knocking it down, and I'm slingshotting myself because my torso is naturally turning, and my hips will naturally flip. I'm going to slingshot myself by the lineman. So you see in the bottom clip there, he's done the same thing. Now he's got the tackle top heavy, and he has a close to McNabb. Next slide, please. This will use his momentum versus him and slingshot the defender by. So there you see it. And then here it is. Acceleration to QB and closing. That's the bottom clip there where he's getting a tomahawk and a club. Accelerate and close the QB for sack, strip, cause, fumble. Next slide, please. This is the conclusion. There are many more moves and counters that can be done effectively to rush the passer, but these moves and counters in this presentation are simple ways to keep the pass protector guessing. I have this. If you guys, Kip, I don't know if you want to give information, but I got the PowerPoint. Okay. I'm free to share it. Okay.
Well, Coach, appreciate that. And I know you had some video, too, that you wanted to use to kind of illustrate some of those things you just went through. So go ahead and, take us through some of that video and really show us what you're talking about there.
All right. So we'll start with some pass rush stuff, run fit. So you have the run fits and pass rush tape here. Obviously, we'll let it run. I'll kind of coach through. We'll take about 4 or 5 clips and we'll jump to the pass stuff. So here we are. We have a double team. We can pause. There's a double team. So we're talking about, somebody asked me earlier, do you want to take 2 or 1? We want to take 1. So you're going to see some clips of us doing it wrong, right? That's BY Bryant Young. He's getting driven out because he tried to take on the 2. Same with 92. He's going to try to cheat the drill. You got Kwame cheating and leaning. This guy didn't jump face. We don't want that. 93 comes off, turns his body, he gets buried. This is the clip they want. If we can pause this clip right here, let it run another second. He gets off right there. He gets off. Now, his foot's up and down, but look at the center. The center is up. The center is back. The guard is down, and he's trying like the Dickens. If you let it run in full time, in real time, that's a 3-second doubles. He's got the guy for 1,001, 1,002, darn near 1,003 count. That A gap is held, and we're good. That backer's activating, that guard's off. We got the A gap. I like to see the nose sunk. I like to see his foot in the ground and not necessarily take the knee, but that's the dipping of the knee that we want, the dipping of the hip that we want. His left hand should be snatching the center to him, and then the right hand should be pushing out, pushing the center out. When that knee pops back open, the left hand should then activate when the hip opens back up, and he should press him back out, and then the right hand should pull, so he'll be in the gap. So you're splitting him with momentum. All right, let the clip run, please. He held it for a while. All right, couldn't let it run a little bit. Here's a double team. This guy tries to take both on. That's not what we want. He has no power, no leverage. He's 8 up. There's Anthony Adams. That's a good job. Freeze the clip, please. If you could. On that last one, they were trying to power scoop him and get him out of there. He stayed active. Yeah, let that one run, please. He stayed active, and he ran that center. He did not release it. There it is, right? They can't get off. He's got the gap. They can't get off. They're trying to get him out of here and get him removed. Look at the line of scrimmage and look where he's at. That's a win. We'll take that. We'll take that. He's occupied too, so be stingy with the double. Be stingy with the double. Next one. Another good clip, right? Real time, 1,001, 1,002, 1,003. Not bad. I'd like to see his pass be a little lower. Okay, we can run it forward a little bit. We've seen this. We don't want to take the double like that. Reach block. All right, freeze it. 7 technique. Right, here's that ram. Here's the 2 gap. So Andre Carter's got the tight end. They're trying to get the base on the tight end, let the tackle fold and get around. He is going to attack the tight end and then press him back and run him back, and which makes the tackle have to bubble, which stretches the run play, which allows us to flow and fit.
Hey, Coach, yes, one question. Earlier you mentioned that hand placement. Is that what you like right there under the –
That is beautiful. That's a thing of beauty. That's why the young man got a bunch of years on his contract.
Yeah.
That right there.
Yeah.
His hands are in the pits, right? He's in the pits. He's going to come out of his hips here in a second. You're going to see him get extension. And he's going to press that tight end back and run him back darn near 3 yards. And he's going to win the edge. So if we let it run in real time, boom, there it is. You see that? He's won the gap, right? He was trying to get reach. Now we're in a 7. Pause it. We're in a 7. That's what we want right there. You're already at a disadvantage, right? You're already inside of the tight end. So we call it a 7 technique. I use the term 7 tech. When he's inside, head up is a 6, and outside is a 9. So he's inside of the tight end in the 7. He's keying the V of the tight end, the V of the neck. He had a 6-inch power step to the V of the tight end. Inside hand is a chest plate. The other hand is an armpit. And now he's going to press him out. He's not reaching. And watch the tight end. We let it run real. Tight end's going to reach. He's going to run him right down the line. So let it run. Bang. See that? There it is. There's a win. Not a good job here. He tries to dip and go. Not a win. That tight end should just stay on him and press him on out. Let it run real time. Boom. He steps, he plants, he places. Look at that. He's got the dub. He's got the gap. That ball has to stretch. The tackles have to displace. Not a good clip. We don't want that. Here's a base block. Boom, boom. Not bad. I just like to see the hips. This is the clip that I want. We can pause it, take it back right there. That's the clip. One guy's got the B gap, one guy's got the C gap. Boom. Starts out good, but then they turn their butts to the sideline so you see too much grass. This is a good clip right here. No B gap, 75's in the B gap. So the fit goes from the left. Our guy, their guy, our guy, their guy. The defensive end has hand, chest plate, and armpit of that tackle who's turned out, or the tight end is turned out. He's pressing him back and through. 75 as a 6'6" guy up and standing him up on his haunches. You see the 6-inch power step up and down. His hips are shot. The in-flight adjustment step's going to come. You let it run real time. You watch him lock him out. Boom, right there. That's all we want. He's got the gap. Okay, so we can freeze here, and then we can go on to the pass rush stuff. Hopefully we got content. We understand where the hand placement is, what we're keying, where our hands need to go, where our hips need to go, and our feet need to go. So now we're going to the pass rush part. That's just a little Tony block there, right? Same principle. We're getting the base. So Here we go. We got the side scissors. There it is. We just talked about it earlier. He got him up and down. We're going to side scissor, side scissor, side scissor. Counter move. He's staying on his track, right? Another side scissor. Freeze. Can we pause it? All right. So I like to see Dre, instead of tilted, I like to see him straight and step in about a half a yard and get vertical. That will tell the tackle, oh, he thinks he's had it, but now he's going to have to really worry about his speed. Right now, with him tilted, his first step's going to be more at the gentleman in the back with the white tennis shoes. When he does that, that tackle doesn't have to go anywhere. He can be patient inside set and then look and wait for him to come back to the quarterback. So what we want to sell is vertical pressure to get the guy off edge, head fake him and beat it back inside. So Dre's going to get off. He's going to come and do a little bit too much dancing and try to side scissor him back outside and not get the win. Here we go. Run it. There he goes. He comes at him. He side scissors. And then he just runs the hump, right? We don't want to see that. This clip, guy takes off. He tries to throw a side scissor. We don't want that. But what we do want is if we get, freeze it. The last clip, when the guy was on the ground, he was able to get back up and accelerate back to the quarterback. This is a clip of a side scissor where we have the jab step. We can take it back, maybe just a half a clip. He takes an inside jab step. Okay, let it run and then pause it. He's going to jab step, right foot, head fake, swipe, 45-degree attack step with the left foot, and watch what happens. Here we go. He's going to throw a double side scissor. Boom, boom. There he is. Simple. High block, which is more like a salute. He's going to get off, throw the high block. There it is. High block and a chop, which is a power rush. It's not a rip. It's a high block. There's Anthony. We want to bull. That's why I'm not a big component of bullying down the center. I like to see bull to an edge. There's a bull there. We want to stay on his edge. Not a good clip of a bull. This is a guy going against Kwame. Last year, not going to necessarily do well. So that guy anchors and he's eating him up. Here's our bull to an edge. He's going to start on the left or right edge, transfer, get back to the left edge. Now he pushes the pocket. His momentum stays forward. Big Isaac, one side, boom. That's what we want. Keep a momentum upfield and attacking. Freeze it real quick. If you can go back just a little bit. If you guys can notice, a little side point, coaching point, every lineman has a trigger. Every lineman has something that gets himself set before the snap. So if you begin to watch these clips, you're going to watch the center. One of them is Jeremy Newberry. His fingers twitch. And as it came closer to the snap time, the fingers slowed down to a point where the fingers stopped. When the fingers stopped, it was a 1,001 count, and you can get the jump. Some linemen buckle, they twist, and then before you know it, they're settling, and then they try to go get after it. So everybody has a trigger. So if you're really trying to be the best you can be or to help you guys out, you start picking up the triggers that they have and point them out to the guys, and now you can get the jump. And it's like clockwork because they can't help it. And as soon as they start addressing that, then they stop worrying about, they forget about their set, and then you have them. So it's mental also. So if you watch them, watch the clips, watch these guys' fingers and watch when the ball is snapped. Go ahead and run it, please. Fingers are twitching, okay. I went a little fast. Club, it's a bull. Once again, we want to get on the center. He's setting heavy. He's going to short set him. He's going to go and just jump him right now. We'll take that because he's on the edge, right? Fingers solid. Boom, there it is. He gets on the edge. Look what he's doing. He's working that edge. He's getting pressure in the pocket. This guy's opened up. The guard's opened up. He jumps to the inside, which is what we don't want. 93 just took off, and he's tilted at the 3, and he jumps back to the inside. So he never did anything to get the guy off his mark, and he went down his power. We're going to throw a club rip. Andrew Thomas out of Miami. He throws a club in the rip. Not effective because he gets nothing on him. There's a club. Tries to rip, but the rip does not come up and through. Same thing. He winds up. He clubs. He tries to load back up on the rip. The guy runs him out of the club. No shoes, no shirt, no service. Same thing. Boom. Club. Rip with the high block. He runs him out because he doesn't get the edge. Fingers to the center. He jab steps, clubs, rips, and now he gets stuck because he's got his chest open up. We want to keep our pads down. He goes right to the inside, which is what the tackle invited him to do, and he closes the door on him, pounds the post. Here's a good one coming up. Fingers are twitching. Boom. Club. Rip. There it is, right? Clubbed him, got to his outside edge. Watch the center's fingers. White gloves. Twitch, switch, switch. Stop. 1001. Boom. There you go. Isaac, club and rip. Pop that elbow up. That's 330 pounds, 350 pounds getting upfield on him. Center's fist is balled up. He's going to jump him. He's going to short set him. The guy doesn't see it, so now he's able to. He's the victim of a short set there. Watch 71 or 91. He goes right back to the inside. He tries to club, then he aborts the mission, right? Fingers, club, rip. There you go. Snap was bad. Fingers are balled up. Fist is balled up. He's going to jump him. He's coming at him. Bang. Short sets him. Not a big component of the spin. Bad spin. We talk about what? Finishing the move. The first thing he did, the guy came in and he spun. Same thing. BY, as great as he was, he cut the move off one step too soon. Andrew goes inside hard. He has it. Kwame has some feet, right? But he went inside hard to sell him. Here's our speed to the edge. We talk about. He jumps out. Got to have a plan. Got to have a move. 74 got off. Got to have a plan. Got to have a move. We talk about hand down to the technique. The guy put the right hand down so he can see the ball, but he ended up getting upfield. Right here, 86 or 96, boom. There it is. That's what we want. He got off. He stabbed him. Here's a long arm. Good clip on the long arm. Bam! Right there. That's what we want. He got off. He stabbed him. He knocked that guy who's 6'6". He knocked him back about a good 2 or 3 yards. Get your hand off your knee. Never changes any direction, never changes any power with the long arm. Comes off, never changed. So the first clip he changed. You saw him change the angle, change the power angle. He was able to stab him and come back to him. We're going to go chop. There's a chop. BY's too high. Doesn't sell it. Here's a jabulé. Inside fake, head fake. So some people call it coffee shop. Jabulé. Boom, boom. Opens up the chest, and so he's exposed. The guy's able to stab him, right? Inside out. Quarterback depth. Accelerate. That's what we want. Right here. Boom, boom. Right there. Perfect. There's the jabulé. Chopped up. Chop. Hump. Okay, we're going to get a hold. Speed once again. Knocked his hands down and came back with the hump, right? Chop. Quick punch through. BY. Club to high blocks. We're in a club, outside hand club. Come through with the high block, which is fingertips to the forehead. Club, fingertips to the forehead, run the hump. Put pressure, make the quarterback step up. I'm not a big component of the swim. Opens up too much, so I prefer a quick punch through. So right over the top, so you're punching through the forearm or the armpit there of the lineman. Side scissors to a hump move. Angled at him. Side scissors. Hump. There's the hump. Right back underneath. Went right back underneath the armpit. Speed to rip. Get off. Boom. There we go. That's a dub. Not a component. Bull to a club. Stance is all bad. We end up cutting the guy after this practice. We end up letting him go. He just couldn't get it. Didn't want to get it, so we had to let him go. Swim. Not a big component. Even with Big Isaac, it doesn't work. That's a 360-pound man. You raise your pad level, you become mortal, right? You're not superhuman anymore. Boom. There's the hump. There's the hump. Once again, was underneath the armpit. Can't do anything if you let the guy get outstretched on you, so you got to work leverage points. You got to rush wrists and elbows. Here's a scissors to a rip. Side scissors. We got to rip. You got to throw the side scissors. Should have head faked him. Not big on the button jerk. Boom, button jerk. Now you got to get off, right? You got to get off. So when you button jerk, you want to drop step. Can we freeze the clip? Okay. Another example of hand down a technique, right and left-handed stance. So he's in a right-handed stance, which means his first step is going to be upfield with his right foot. So it's putting him further from the quarterback than it is closer. So the next step is going to be his left, and he's trying to go get at the guy. So what we want is a left hand down so we can get off and sell the speed. Get off so we still have our power step. When that right foot's up and down, now we're able to plant and drive. We want to stab him, or we want to continue and get upfield fast. So with his right hand being down on the right side and the outside edge rusher, his steps are going to be off if he has to do anything to counter back inside. Okay, let it run, please. See, now he's dead to meat, right? He's dead to rights. He has no power. Same thing. It just gets ran out the club. Knee twitches. Too much separation. He didn't have a plan. Speed. Boom. Boom. Now get to an edge. Good transfer of power. Speed. He tries to bury his chest. It doesn't work well. He's going to get body slammed and baptized right there. We don't want that. There's a get off key, the knee. Boom, knee twitches. There it is. Now working edge, working edge. There we go. Okay, here's the long arm. Can we freeze it? Right at one more clip, one more slide. Boom, press out. He got stuck, right? The guy, he didn't transfer his energy, transfer from the power from the left foot and do a step. There it is. You're going to stab him, and we can go ahead and you can kill it now. Chip, right? We're at the base of it.
Coach, appreciate your time tonight. One question before we let you go here. Someone asked if you could explain the term ice pick.
So okay, it's an old thriller movie, Psycho. You know the old ice pick. So when you're chopping ice or you're breaking ice down, people say, they used to say your ice pick. You want to pick the ice, you want to break the ice up, break it up. So if I'm rushing and I'm that defensive end and I'm gonna spin, so if I'm on the right side and I'm getting upfield here and the tackle's here, I get upfield. I throw my chop, boom, that chop. This hand wants the ice pick. So I want to end up stabbing him in the back. So I'm fictitious ice pick and I want to come through, boom, stab him in the back with the drop step, be able to replace his hips and get downfield on him. So the ice pick term is me taking my free hand and reaching around and trying to punch him in the middle of his back or stab him in the middle of his back or grab him in the middle of his back and clear my hips and clear myself.
All right, Coach, great job. I apologize. My computer died in the middle of my introduction, but I made it back, and we definitely appreciate you being here with us tonight, and just a great overall job all around, Coach.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Thanks for the people that joined.
Yeah, we want to thank everyone for joining tonight's session. One reminder, because you tuned in, you are eligible for special equipment pricing from Xenith. Click the request intro meeting button in the bottom left-hand corner of your screen right now to learn more from your local Xenith rep. And we hope you can join us next week at the same time for our clinic with Coach Ben Coleman. We'll be switching sides to focus on the offensive line. Coach Burns, once again, thank you very much. And everyone, we appreciate you joining us tonight. Have a great evening.
Thank you.